Welcome to the latest episode of the Speak English with a British Accent podcast. On this week's show, I've got some phrases to help you talk about your weekend. And a number of words and phrases you're probably using all wrong. Plus, a mini British accent challenge for you. Let's get going. Section 1. How to talk about your weekend without sounding like a textbook. Let's be honest, if you're learning English, one of the first questions you'll hear on a Monday morning is, "So how was your weekend?" And if your reply is something like, "I watched TV and relaxed," it sounds, well, a bit beige. So today, let's upgrade your weekend small talk from basic beige to beautifully British. Here are some natural expressions that make you sound fluent, confident, and properly conversational. Firstly, catch up with someone. Catch up with someone, meaning to meet and share news after a while apart. I finally caught up with my cousins over coffee. Let's catch up soon. It's been ages. We caught up on all the gossip we'd missed since last year. So when saying catch up, stress the catch part rather than the up. And it's catch up, not catch up. Catch up. Secondly, we've got run errands. Run errands, meaning to do little practical tasks like going to the bank or the post office. Although you'll probably find neither opened on a Saturday or Sunday. I had to run a few errands before meeting my friends. He spent all morning running errands for his mum. So a pronunciation tip, the in run is the relaxed sound. Run, not rune errands. Number 3 is treat yourself to something. I treated myself to a fancy dinner at the new restaurant everyone's posting about. Or, I treated myself to a lazy morning in bed and a full English breakfast. Another weekend activity is to get some fresh air. To get some fresh air. After being stuck indoors all week, I went for a long walk to get some fresh air. We drove to the coast for the weekend. I just needed some proper fresh air. So, air should have that open air diphthong, not And another weekend activity? Binge watch a series. Binge watch a series. I binge watched the latest detective drama. I only planned to watch one episode. We binge-watched 3 seasons in one weekend. No regrets. Binge can also mean to overdo something, so you could have a chocolate binge or a biscuit binge, for example. Another weekend activity is to go out for, which could be a meal, a drink, or a coffee. So we went out for a few drinks on Friday night. I went out for a coffee with a colleague and ended up talking for 2 hours. British understatement tip, go out for a few is perfectly vague and wonderfully British. So another weekend expression could be take it easy. Take it easy. I'm going to take it easy this weekend. No alarms, no plans. After a hectic week, I took it easy with a book and a cup of tea. So glide through that take it. You're linking the ka into the it. Take it. Take it. Another option to do at the weekend is get together with. Get together with. We got together with our old school friends and had lunch. I got together with some old colleagues for drinks at the pub. We're getting together next weekend for a barbecue, if the weather behaves. And one of my favourite weekend activities? Do absolutely nothing. Do absolutely nothing. On Sunday I did absolutely nothing, and it was wonderful. I stayed in bed, scrolled endlessly, and did absolutely nothing productive. Sometimes doing absolutely nothing is exactly what you need. A British understatement tip: add "to be honest" and you'll sound even more authentic. And another thing to add to your weekend description could be end up plus verb-ing. So, for example, we were planning to stay in, but ended up going to the cinema. I meant to clean the house, but ended up watching YouTube instead. We ended up staying out until 2 a.m. Oops. It's common in spoken English. It's the ultimate plans changed phrase. Another weekend descriptor: to potter around the house. Potter around the house. Meaning to do small, aimless tasks at home. Very British, very cosy. I just pottered around the house all day. Lovely. He spent Sunday pottering about in the garden. I pottered around, tidying here and there, but achieved nothing. Cultural note: pottering sounds delightfully middle class and serene. Think BBC Radio 4 energy. And another one would be to have a lie-in. Have a lie-in, meaning stay in bed later than usual. I had a nice lie-in on Sunday. Heaven. We all had a lie-in after staying up late watching films. Nothing beats a long lie-in followed by breakfast in bed. So lie-in links very much together. Lie-in. Lie-in. Another weekend activity could be to catch a film, a show, or a match, meaning to go and see something. So we caught a film at the Odeon. I caught a show in the West End. Pure magic. We caught the football match down the pub. Cultural note: catch sounds casual and spontaneous. It's very British understatement again. And finally, to be knackered. Be knackered, meaning to be very tired. This is an informal phrase, very British. By Sunday night, I was absolutely knackered. After that hike, we were all completely knackered. Use it with friends. It's quite informal. So record yourself describing your weekend using at least 5 of these phrases. Focus on connected speech and link those words together naturally. I caught up with my friends and we went out for a few drinks. Smooth, easy, relaxed, like your perfect weekend. Being able to talk about your weekend naturally shows that you can use narrative tenses, linking phrases, and collocations confidently, all key to sounding fluent and genuinely British. And if you'd like your accent to sound just as smooth as your vocab, join my British Accent Bundle, the complete guide to sounding polished, clear, and delightfully RP. And before I forget, I'm running an early bird Black Friday sale on the British Accent Bundle, so get it quick for only £59.
This podcast is brought to you by Wise, the app for international people using money around the globe. With Wise, you can send, spend, and receive up to 40 currencies with only a few simple taps. Plus, Wise won't add hidden fees to your transfer, whether you're paying bills in the local currency back home or receiving pounds, rupees, or yen from loved ones overseas. You'll get the mid-market exchange rate with no extra markups. Join 15 million customers and download the Wise app today or visit wise.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Section 2. Words and phrases you're probably using all wrong. Let's face it, English can be a minefield. Even native speakers fall flat on their faces sometimes. Now here's some phrases that sound right, but are in fact completely wrong. Brace yourself, you may have used one today. So the first one is for all intensive purposes. For all intensive purposes. Now, if you're using this phrase to mean for all practical purposes, then for all intents and purposes, you're doing it wrong. The correct phrase is for all intents and purposes. So, for example, for all intents and purposes, the project was finished last week. For all intents and purposes, they're already married. For all intents and purposes, this course will make you sound British. A second one that you may be getting wrong is a dog-eat-dog world. A dog-eat-dog world. What you meant to say was a dog-eat-dog world, right? It's understandable that you misheard it. This type of error is known as an egg-corn, where a phrase is reshaped phonetically without changing its meaning. But the correct phrase is dog-eat-dog world. So, for example, it's a dog-eat-dog world in business these days. Or, in acting, it's truly a dog-eat-dog world. Everyone's competing for a role. Now, another phrase is a whole nother. A whole nother. What's a nother? Exactly, there's no such thing. It's a whole nother story. May sound cute, but it's not grammatical. You're looking for either whole other story or another story. So the correct phrase is a whole other story or another story. So, for example, I'd love to tell you, but that's a whole other story. Moving to London. That's another story altogether. Grammar mistakes? Don't get me started. That's a whole other story. Now, this one word lots of people seem to mispronounce. Etc. Etc. It's a classic. But it's et cetera, not etc. There's no X anywhere near it. Et cetera, etc. For example, we'll need pens, paper, scissors, etc. Grammar, pronunciation, vocab, etc. All important. I'll tidy the desk, file the papers, etc. before I leave. Now, another one people sometimes get wrong is day in age. Now, it's actually in this day and age. I know it sounds close enough, but the original phrase has stood the test of time for a reason. I think the reason this can be written incorrectly is because when spoken, and can often be reduced to its weak form of n. So it would sound like day and age rather than a clear day and age. So some examples. In this day and age, everyone's glued to their phones. You'd think in this day and age, people would know how to spell definitely. In this day and age, you can learn any accent online. Another phrase sometimes incorrectly said, I could care less. I could care less. Now, unless you actually care a little bit, the phrase you want is I couldn't care less. Saying I could care less means the opposite of what you intend. So the correct phrase is I couldn't care less. For example, honestly, I couldn't care less what he thinks. They couldn't care less about the rules. I couldn't care less if it rains. I've got tea. And another fun one is nip it in the butt. Now, unless you're gardening in a very strange way, it's nip it in the bud. As in, stop it before it grows. So the correct phrase, nip it in the bud, not butt. So, for example, let's nip this rumour in the bud before it spreads. You should nip bad habits in the bud early. She nipped the argument in the bud before it got heated. And a final one is mute point. Nope, it's not mute, it's moot. Moot. A moot point means a debatable or irrelevant issue, not one that's silent. So it's moot. M-O-O-T. Not mute, moot. Moot point. For example, whether he should have apologised is now a moot point. It's a moot point. The decision's already been made. That argument's moot. Let's move on. There you have it. Some of the most commonly misused and misunderstood English phrases. Now, for all intents and purposes, you'll sound infinitely smarter and a whole lot more British. If you're polishing your words, why not polish your accent too? Because, and let's be honest, there's nothing quite like delivering a perfectly pronounced moot point in a flawless RP accent. Join my British Accent Bundle at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. It's the fastest way to make your English sound elegant, confident, and unmistakably British. Section 3. Mini British Accent Challenge. Consonant clusters. Let's talk about consonant clusters. Those moments when English decides vowels are overrated. Today we're tackling two of the most villainous ones in the RP accent. Sks, as in asks, and ths, as in months. Now if these send your tongue into a panic, you're not alone. So cluster number 1 is SKS, sks, as in asks, tasks, masks. Most learners drop one of the sounds. Indian speakers often turn asks into as or ax. Spanish speakers may add a little vowel in between. Asix, asix. Arabic speakers might simplify it to ask, missing the final S entirely. So keep it light and connected. Say it like a quick glide. Asks. Asks. Yes, there really are two sounds, but the second one's softer. Asks. She asks politely. He never masks his feelings. 3 tasks today? Lovely, said with deep British sarcasm. Don't release every consonant like you're firing a machine gun. It's a gentle tap of the tongue, not an assault. Now, cluster number 2. Ths, as in months, sixths, paths. This one is the stuff of nightmares for many learners, and even for native speakers after a glass of wine or 2. Some common struggles. French speakers often turn months into months, dropping the th altogether. Chinese speakers might substitute the th with s, so saying mons or muns. And Russian speakers sometimes replace it with f, so it becomes months. So, bite your tongue just slightly for the th, then slide into s without pausing. Imagine saying ths. It's one continuous sound. So try, there are 12 months in a year. There are 12 months in a year. He finished 6th. The paths crossed again. The paths crossed again. Don't exaggerate that th sound. It's quite gentle, airy, and disappears quickly into the s. Th. So say these 3 sentences naturally and record yourself if you can. 1. She asks 6 times a day. 2. The masks in 6 months will be replaced. 3. He tasks me with the 12th project again. Now listen back Do the clusters blend smoothly, or are they tripping you up? If it's the latter, congratulations, you found your new pronunciation gym workout. Mastering these clusters is like developing a British stiff upper lip, controlled, subtle, and never overdone. And don't forget, the British Accent Bundle can help you master all of these consonant cluster sounds. learningbritishaccent.com/bundle.
This podcast is brought to you by Wise, the app for international people using money around the globe. With Wise, you can send, spend, and receive up to 40 currencies with only a few simple taps. Plus, Wise won't add hidden fees to your transfer, whether you're paying bills in the local currency back home or receiving pounds, rupees, or yen from loved ones overseas. You'll get the mid-market exchange rate with no extra markups. Join 15 million customers and download the Wise app today or visit wise.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Section 4. Different ways to say, hurry up. Ah, the fine British art of telling someone to hurry up without sounding like you're about to explode. Because in the UK, it's not just what you say, it's how politely exasperated you sound while saying it. So, let's explore a few British and British-sounding ways to encourage someone to get moving, from posh urgency to pure panic. Number 1. Chop chop. Chop chop, the classic cheerful command. Apparently chop chop originates from Cantonese. Chop chop meaning quickly, and it's delightfully brisk. Chop chop. Keep both those ch sounds crisp and identical. Chop chop, not shop shop. Come along, chop chop, tea's getting cold. Number 2. Come on. Our universal expression of polite impatience. Depending on tone, it can mean anything from let's go to for heaven's sake. Try lengthening or stressing on. Come on, that's more encouraging, or come on, that's more annoyed. Intonation makes the meaning. It's all in that sigh. Number 3, get a move on. A very British way of saying please hurry without sounding like a drill sergeant. Pronounce move with that long oo sound, move, and on is lightly linked. Get a move on. Get a move on, we'll miss the train. Next is get cracking. Get cracking means start now. You'll hear it in offices, kitchens, and occasionally shouted by people assembling flat-pack furniture. If we're going to finish by lunch, we'd better get cracking. That short in cracking gives it a punch. Next is put your skates on. Put your skates on. No actual skates required, just urgency with charm. It's slightly cheeky and very British. Put your skates on or we'll miss last orders. Skates. Make sure to glide from that diphthong to the ts. Skates. Next is shake a leg. Playful and old-fashioned, but still used. Perfect when someone's dawdling. Come on, shake a leg. The bus won't wait. Fun fact, it supposedly came from sailors being told to get out of their hammocks faster. Next we've got snap to it. Snap to it. Straightforward and snappy. It's borrowed from American English but has crept into British speech. Snap to it, we've got work to do. The t in snap to is a clear stop. Don't let it vanish. Snap to it. Snap to it. And then we've got speed up. Simple and direct. Sounds like something you'd say to a taxi driver or someone telling an unnecessarily long story. If you could speed up that anecdote, that would be lovely. Said with peak British sarcasm. And then we've got time is money. The classic reminder that dithering is expensive, often said half-jokingly in British workplaces when tea breaks run long, All right, team, time is money. Back to it. Stress time and money equally because both are precious in this context. And finally, we've got jump to it. Military in origin, but fun in tone. It's what you say when you want results now, but with a wink. Jump to it, people. The biscuits won't fetch themselves. So next time someone's dragging their feet, you've got a whole vocabulary of impatience to choose from, whether you want to sound encouraging, exasperated, or poshly furious. And if you'd like to sound perfectly polished while shouting chop chop, my British Accent Bundle is the place to start. learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. And we've come to the end of yet another episode. Don't forget to take advantage of the early bird Black Friday sale on the British Accent Bundle. And if you'd like to share the podcast with someone you think might find it useful, I would be very grateful. Have a lovely weekend. See you soon. Bye for now.